Hi there, it's Riikka Kovasin here with a project for Nathalie's Creative Squad. This month the topic is Lost in a Book, so we are drawing inspiration from a special book. I had a lot of options for this one, but in the end decided to go with maybe one of the first memories of a book I have, and it's a children's storybook, and the illustrations are by Finnish illustrator and artist Rudolf Koivu. Well, I do remember the stories as well, but what I remember the most are the pictures and the illustrations. I found them really beautiful and captivating, but also I was pondering why there's no yellow in them. So I decided to use one of these illustrations as my focal point and kept the color scheme of the project in line with that illustration. I added a double-sided adhesive sheet to the back of the illustration and later cut the elements out to be used as the focal point. For the other elements, I'm drawing 160 grams Fabriano cardstock piece, and I'm doing the first layer to that using Infusions, a color dye from PaperArtsy. This dye reacts to water, so it's kind of a watercolor, but instead of being able to lift the colors after they have dried, these dry permanent, so I'm able to layer upon. So after drying the first layer, I then start adding pattern on top. This time using the ATC Mixup stencil by Nathalie. I'm using kind of the same patterns in the stencil over and over again, but just mixing with 3 different colors. In the end, I opted out of using the pink one because it was so pale and used the red and blue ones more than the pink one. But in this stage I didn't know that yet, so I used 3 acrylic colors to make the patterns. For the background of this project, I cut a couple of pages from the same book and used double-sided tape to adhere them to my journal. What's fun about the pages as well, that they don't have black writing but instead blue, so the color scheme kind of continues in the writing as well. I then add a layer of white gesso on top, kind of hindering that harsh contrast between the words and the blank page, kind of making it more like a background. After adding the layer, I then again dry the project. Then I'm starting to make the actual composition, and for that I need, let's say, pieces of the collage sheet I did earlier. I decided to cut the sheet to 4 by 4 centimeter squares like little tiles. Before cutting, I added again a double-sided adhesive in the back, so these are kind of ready-made stickers when I'm done cutting. To match the tiles better to the actual focal point to the illustration, I then use brown ink to kind of tone down the really vibrant colors and also bring that old look to them. So I ink around the edges but also add the ink on top, kind of a little bit muting the really vibrant tones. And as you can see, it fits the illustrations no better. I have really sped up this process of just layering the little tiles to my page, but still you can see how I'm building the composition. I'm alternating between the colors of the tiles and also the orientation of the pattern, building these little triangle or columns of tiles going either side of the spread. When I then have the tiles ready, I then adhere my stickers in a way, the illustrations on top, and add some of brown splashes to the background, kind of adding something to the otherwise untreated area. After drawing the project, I then finalized the page with some text stickers, and a little line cut from the same book. I chose the words I'm using as kind of the journaling or maybe the title of the page to reflect my feelings about that book or that illustration. The little words read, imagine, child, memory and embrace. Kind of, they lighted up my imagination as a child, and now I'm embracing those memories. Here are some detailed shots of the project. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you. Bye!